Let's talk a little football. And welcome to the Press Box. I'm so glad you can join us. I am here with the cast of usual colorful suspects right here. Randy Young, Michael Best, Jim Rayburn, Austin Reams. Again, thanks for joining us. Let's talk a little football, a little high school football, then a little college football. Maybe the interesting matchup of the week is going to be Colquitt County traveling to Lee County. Kind of a weird game for Colquitt County because they hadn't played as many games. Right. So, how do you guys, just think this matchup is going to go? Let's maybe talk about their opponent, Lee County. Are they the juggernaut that they have been? I know they're good, but maybe they're not as good. What's your take on it, Jim?
Well, they've won, but the starting quarterback didn't get to play last week. I don't know if he's still injured or not. So that's a key. But Colquitt will be Colquitt County. So yeah, it's tough. They got to go to Leesburg, and this starts their 3 games in a week.
Yeah, so they'll
period. Yeah. But they got to practice Tuesday night against Monroe, and
the
another
next one
practice against.
Rickards isn't very good, or they're not. Sometimes the Tallahassee school will just have D1 athletes everywhere, but
Rickards used to be the one.
Yeah. It was Rickards for a while, then Lincoln for a while. Yeah. But anyway, so thoughts on the game, Randy?
Well, to me, I don't know if Colquitt County's got the star running back, Jay Lamar, back. He's supposed to be really a difference maker. Lee County's defense is really good. Their offense has kind of been bipolar, and they've got a little bit of a controversy at quarterback. They brought a quarterback in from New York, I think. A little bit. Yeah, and
ask the mom about that.
Well, it's near Lee County. I mean, it's connected if you get on the right highway.
Upper Lee County.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's the transfer issue if you do that. So, Michael Best, any comments?
But what I was going to say,
though, you got to compete with Milton in that class, and they got 2 kids from Wisconsin.
You're right, and one from Florida.
Right.
But from what I understand, the kid that has come through the Lee County system has done really well at quarterback. Well, now you got kind of a controversy because the kid that had moved in that had all these stars attached to him, he hasn't done that well. But, what do you do? You got to play with a hot hand the way I look at it. That ought to be a great game, though.
Yeah,
it'd be a great problem to have 2 good quarterbacks.
That's right.
Well, y'all got that problem.
No, we do
y'all
not.
Got some good ones.
We got one quarterback and 2 youngsters.
They're coming, though. They're coming.
You got to keep that guy healthy. So let's go to the Thomas County Central game. Thomas County Central beats Thomasville High School 55-7.
Just a scrimmage.
It was kind of a tough night for the Dogs, but
listen. Thomasville counted themselves well now.
Yeah,
and I'll talk about that. I was impressed.
And before we get to talk about the game, let's talk about the Bainbridge game. Let's preview that, and then we'll get you guys to talk about the game together. But
let's talk about the Thomasville game.
Yeah,
Bainbridge is struggling. I mean, that's the best way to put it. They are in rebuilding mode. Jay Wells, who's the head coach over there, they're struggling.
I don't understand why they're rebuilding because their 8th grade team was undefeated for years and years and years. Where's those kids gone?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I can't explain it, but
and Michael Best is happy about it, right?
You're not complaining.
You dragged me into that Bainbridge stuff. Now y'all already got me wanted over there too. Bainbridge does have a very good middle school 9th grade JV program, so they got good kids coming.
Yeah.
But right now they are.
Yeah, and that happens in a coaching transition and things like that. That's not unusual for that to happen. So, but they're athletes over there.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, they're the only public school over there. I mean, and there's no question that they should have the athletes. But, Jeff Littleton led them to a state championship over there, was very, very solid, went to Tift County. He's turning that program around. Yeah. And, again, I think you just got a transition period here between coaching staffs, and they'll catch at some point in time.
Well, Bainbridge is in a unique situation. They have one school, but it's near Grady County, and that's a huge county that runs on the far side. So how many of those guys out there can't play because of the so they get a few Syrupmakers every now and then.
Well,
and I think that Bainbridge has lost. There's a couple of charter schools, private schools over there, and I think they've lost some kids because believe it or not, I mean, I think their enrollment is down below ours now.
Right.
Because they have lost some kids.
And they were up way above you.
Yeah, typically really big. Yeah.
They were about the same size as Central for a long time. And and I don't know if it's the charter schools or some of the other area public schools, but they've definitely lost some youngins. Yeah. But anyway, just hopefully.
I think they had a couple of kids go to Gadsden County. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. That's right. They got caught up in that.
That's
mess,
the
too.
ones that's ineligible though.
Yeah, I think so.
Cairo had one do that.
Yeah.
Is he playing?
They're
Still
still
figuring it out.
Sorting it out.
waiting on doing all that. They,
All I got to say is say a prayer for Bainbridge.
Yeah, Thomas County, this just in, Thomas County Central is good.
Pretty good.
Just got to keep maintaining, got to play at a high level no matter your competition, and Central will be fine.
Yep. And back to the Thomasville game, I was impressed with Thomasville. They came in with a really good game plan to try to neutralize, and we talked about it last week.
It worked real well.
Well, I mean, there was just a big difference in the lines of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And everybody knew that going in. And the Thomasville game plan was to get the ball out quick, kind of neutralize that a little bit, get the wide receivers on an island with a defensive back, and they miss a tackle, they're gone. I mean, that's what happened when Thomasville scored their touchdown. But as the night went along, that difference on the line of scrimmage just kind of took hold. And Central played well. I mean, this wasn't a fantastic performance from us because we left some points on the field, but
Thank you.
but a very good performance.
Yeah.
Ended up with about 480 or so total yards and held Thomasville to about 150. And just the main thing was great atmosphere, packed on both sides. Now, we did have a couple of guys go down. Trey Pringle rolled his ankle very badly in pregame warm-ups, of all things.
We scared him.
Yeah, that could have been it. And Ed Guerrero, who's one of our starting cornerbacks, dislocated his shoulder in the game, which he had that problem last year a lot. But I think you probably will see those guys sit out because once we get past the Bainbridge game, we've got an off week, and then Lee County comes to the nest, and that'll be a big one. And depending on what happens with them and Colquitt, that could be maybe the game in the state, depending on how things fall.
Yeah. Let's go to the Thomasville side. Thoughts on the game?
I have to clear up something before we start.
Oh boy.
During the game, I'm not going to say who announced it, but they said that Jeremy Rayburn got ejected from the game and escorted off the sideline.
that was you.
No.
Jim got escorted.
That did not come from PAS.
Oh, no, he was saying you got escorted off.
And to clarify the situation, it was when Makari Williams tackled on the far side, stopped Central turning the punt all the way. His helmet come off. He goes in the pile to get his helmet. Central players come around. He bumps to get out, so they throw a flag on him, unsportsmanlike conduct, where the referee's job should have been
Get him
the
out.
child
Get him
and
out.
Get him out.
Get him out of there.
But anyway, so Jonathan was really upset. My son was
Being
standing.
the AD, that's what he's supposed
My
to do.
son was there, said, Jonathan, it's not worth it. Calm down. We probably won't use this association in this game again. And a radar referee threw a flag.
Not radar. Not radar O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Yep, radar O'Reilly ears. And anyway, so to dispel the rumors, he did not get ejected.
But he got a penalty.
He got a penalty flag.
All right.
for saying
And
that.
let me interject real quick. Makari Williams, that youngin is a player.
Yeah.
Now, and I want to say this too from the Central side. Very proud to win the game. Very solid performance. Both of these teams have got the potential to make a very deep run.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any question about that. I just hope that the Thomasville folks understand one game does not a season make. Is what
Well, we don't base our season off the Central game.
but it's too easy for the fans to do
It's
it.
it's the money.
I know, but
If
you know how the
series
fans are, though,
continues,
Jim.
it's because of the money.
Yeah, but you know how the fans are, though.
No,
The fans
I know.
will look at
I
it,
know a
but
lot of them,
don't do that.
But we've never. Thomasville's philosophy is get the non-region games out of the way. We want a region
There you go.
championship. We want to be in the state playoff.
There you go.
Set yourself up for state.
But I mean, the game plan was a good game plan, and the game plan, I think, because Cam didn't run as much as he normally does. I think that was to keep Cam healthy.
Yeah.
He got sacked, and he did have to run a few times. But the highlight of the night to me was they pinned us down on the 2-yard line.
Man.
Cam had got his hand hurt, so he was not in the game. So they go to the Wild Dog for the first time all year. Levante runs towards the jacket side, comes back out, and gets the big first down.
And he's like this far from the back of the end
not
zone.
only
I mean, he's
that, but
like this far.
he had like 7 guys right in front of him.
Yep.
And he
Somehow he
twisted
gets out.
and turned and got out of that mess. That was a fantastic
And then
play.
then the 98-yard drive, that was a highlight. Rest of the night was
Yeah.
Anyway, we came out of the game healthy. We got an off week to even heal up the bumps and bruises. We hit them. We hit them
that's
hard.
a hard-hitting game.
We hit them hard because that's Thomasville. We're going to play hard and hit you hard. But, I mean, we were just outmanned. Offensive line for Central
Really
controlled
good.
it. Defensive front controlled our offensive line. So at halftime, we were -5 rushing, and I know Levante, even with that run, wound up -7 yards rushing. So we didn't have anything rushing. And
Yeah, it goes to the big uglies, though. I
Yeah.
mean, I always spotlight those guys because they don't get a whole lot of glory. But those big uglies are important, and Central's got some really good players on both sides of the trenches for them.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
all right, well, let's transition over to Cairo. They beat Kathleen 45-12. Got Cook County
Finally
coming
got a
to
win.
town. Let's
Yes,
talk about
Things
that
better now?
W.
Things better?
Feeling a little
Boy,
better?
things are better in Syrupland right now. Got a win, and they came out and talked to Coach Coleman before the game. He said, "Hey, if we win the toss, we're going to take the ball because we need to score.
Yeah.
We need to get some points." And so we didn't win the toss, but we still got the ball, and we went right to the Wildcat. And Brian Duncan took us down, and then Jalen Teal scored. Jalen had 3 touchdowns in the first half, won a 70-yard run that was pretty impressive. For a touchdown. We had a touchdown pass to LaDerrick Perkins. And I tell you, our quarterback, Bryce Puckett, is coming around. Last year, he threw for like 120 yards for the whole year. He's a little over 200 yards into 3 games now. He had another touchdown pass to Khalid Perry that went for long distance, 60, 70 yards for a touchdown. So, Brian, in the second half, we just went all Wildcat. Took the ball at our own 20 and drove it 80 yards with just Brian, and he scored. And so he's kind of getting back into it. And offensive line's very young, still trying to learn, and
Starting to gel maybe a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. They're still missing some stuff, but they're young, and they just got to, like I said, they haven't played. This is their 3rd game together as a team. So Cook has got a very good defensive front that's very athletic, and so it's going to be an interesting little situation there.
Jim's shaking his head.
Jim
down there.
doesn't believe you.
Jim's like,
Jim
no.
doesn't believe you.
No.
Y'all play
That's
your
coach's-
game, let me play my game.
that's coach's speak.
And,
That's Michael's
but,
speak.
They do have the number 2 rated punter in the nation. I mean, seriously, the punter is a real deal.
And in the spring, he couldn't put it past 30 yards.
Yeah, but he is supposed to be like
I know. I've seen it. He's big on
Yeah.
Facebook and all that.
Yeah,
Are you Michael Dooley now all of a sudden?
I'm
I mean,
telling
all of
you.
a sudden they've got
But
the best punter.
listen, I got a couple things real quick before we move on though. If you're out there and you'd like to be an official, and if you contact somebody and just tell them, I think I'd like, we need officials.
Yes, we do.
And
There's your camera.
oh, we're over
Talk to
here.
your camera. Yeah, talk to your
Well, I
camera.
like that camera better, but I'll talk to this one as well. They used to have red lights on them. They don't anymore. But
Yeah, they
okay.
do. That one's got a red light.
Well, see, totally confused. But we also need a
I'm gonna look
different
this way. Go ahead.
camera. But we need people to officiate games. It was an interesting thing, very interesting. We got
It was interesting.
We got 2 5-yard penalties that were 6 yards, which hey, we'll take them.
Well, they can't count.
And then there was one time the chain crew got mad at me, but it wasn't their fault. I was just pointing out the chains were wrong. It was into the 3rd quarter, and it was 3rd down and 11. When we changed to the 4th quarter, we were 3rd down and 8. And I just said, I think the chains were wrong. Chain crew took it personally. It wasn't y'all. It was not y'all.
Yeah.
It was
We got a lot of
Well,
clarifications
are
going
they
on here
listening
today.
on the radio?
Well,
my
somebody.
gosh. I was gonna say, were they listening to
Apparently,
you?
somebody told her because I'm getting a text from them. Why you talking bad about us?
During the middle of the game.
You know,
for
and I'm
goodness
like,
sake.
I'm not talking bad about y'all.
Oh,
So
I love
anyway,
high school football.
we got
I
to
love
get
high
that
school
cleaned
football.
up.
Yes,
We gotta-
We do need more referees.
Now, that
I
is
promise-
100%
I
factual.
promise in my final tour, I'm not talking bad about referees.
I'm not talking bad about it. Just say we need more.
Well, if you retire from the radio, you can be a referee.
Yeah, there
Jim,
we
that's
go.
what you need.
I can't get up and down the field.
Well, it was an idea.
And then one last thing that I thought was kind of neat. Their radio announcer for Kathleen.
They had a radio.
They have a radio
Hey,
announcer,
okay.
and their radio station and all. Anyway, his wife is very, very ill. She's been in the hospital. He could not go to the game, so we simulcast our broadcast down to Lakeland, so the people in
Yeah.
Lakeland.
Oh, that's
could
cool.
Were you
hear the
more or
game.
less? Did you take out of your bias, or were you
No.
100%
I
certain?
tried. I really
know
did.
better.
I don't
Come on.
know how it came out, but I didn't get any hate mail from the people in Lakeland.
Not
but,
yet.
They
Not
hadn't
yet.
found an address in Cairo yet.
Yeah, we
I
can't over
haven't-
yet.
No, I haven't heard from anybody down there. I hadn't heard from Ray Lewis. So
Yeah, that's true.
hopefully
Well, that's what
everything's-
you don't. Yes,
don't
true.
wanna hear
You don't
from
want
him.
that.
'cause, that was his high school. So.
Yep.
All
But
right.
yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
that's Cook County this week at home again. So maybe we can roll.
Let's
some
fill that
momentum.
stadium up and then root them on to another,
Yes.
I
another
don't know.
victory.
I may go to that game. I can't figure out who I'll holler for.
Okay.
Hey, what?
Probably be Adele,
Hey,
maybe.
you can come sit with me.
I
up in the
know.
press box.
Or you can help the chain crew, maybe something like that.
Sounds like somebody needs to.
They got plenty of help. They got good guys. on that.
They got
a great chain crew.
We do.
Sometimes it's the referee that screws it up.
Well,
Yeah.
this was the referees.
It's not the chain crew.
It was not the chain crew.
So
The chain crew did a great job.
All right, so let's go a couple other scores around South Georgia. So Pelham was defeated by Vilewood 50-22, and Pelham is going to be traveling to Seminole County. Mitchell County lost to Turner County 18-8, and they have Clinch County coming into town, and Brookwood gets off the losing streak, so they beat Scintilla Charter 44-0, and they have Southland coming into town for homecoming.
Wait, and breaks how many game loses?
I don't know the streak, but it was over a year, so
13-ish?
no wins last year,
Dang.
so probably a double-digit.
Congratulations
losing
to the
streak, so,
Warriors. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Go back to that Pelham Seminole game. That's the opening region game for them.
Okay, so
That was pretty good, by the way.
yeah, Valwood's pretty good. Brookwood plays in the last game of the season, so at the end, and Valwood can play. They got
Yep.
some players. So speaking of playing, we'll talk a little college football and a little yes/no coming up. All right, and we're back, and we're talking a little college football again. So glad you're with us and joining us and having fun. Hopefully you're having as much fun as we are. Let's talk Georgia, and again, maybe not as much fun after the Austin Peay game, but you beat Austin Peay. But
Let's go, Austin. Let's go, P.
Yeah.
I know, not the impressive win that we kind of normally expect from the Georgia team, but now you go to Tennessee. And, Kirby's been playing a vanilla game plan. He's got a lot that he's saving for Tennessee, but neither of these teams have really been tested. Do you feel like this game's going to be kind of sloppy early on, or both teams kind of maybe been just lying in wait and they're going to come out and play well? What do you think, Michael Best?
I think it'll be a good game from the Bears. I mean, both these teams, Georgia's had the upper hand the last several years, but this is a kind of a rivalry. It goes back a long way. And a lot of great moments in these games, and so no doubt. Now, the biggest challenge for Georgia fans this past weekend is just being able to watch the doggone thing. Yeah. Because it was, I had to go to my ESPN app and then click on the watch games and then go to ESPN Plus and then
SEC Plus.
I put ESPN Plus to my YouTube TV and then mirrored the iPad to the TV, and then we had a 6-hour rain delay or something. I mean, I was like, this should not be this much effort to watch football games.
You're right.
Yes.
But it was Austin Peay now. I mean, let's be all. Let's go Austin. Let's go Peay.
But it shouldn't be that hard to
I
watch
remember
football.
as a youngster having to drive up I-75 somewhere along there. Me and my daddy and Mama would sit at a rest stop and listen to the Georgia game because nobody down here carried it years ago. And,
wow.
I mean, that was an effort.
That's
go find the
loyal
game.
dog fan right there.
This was tough, but yeah, Georgia-Tennessee is going to be a good game. I hope Georgia was holding stuff back. If they not, it's going to be a long night.
Well, now you think about it. Georgia missed a couple of wide open golden opportunities to score touchdowns. I mean, this game with Austin Peay should have been 42-6. By all rights, it should have been. Statistically, it was lopsided. It really wasn't as close as the score might have indicated. And I think we're all sitting here talking before we started recording. I don't think Kirby or Mike Bobo have shown much of anything to this point. Why would you? You're playing Marshall.
Because Mike Bobo needs to, because they want to fire him already.
Good gracious alive. Anyway, I think this will be a defensive struggle. I think it's going to be a fairly low-scoring game. But it'll be interesting to see what did Kirby say, that these teams that we're playing are spreading the field so we can't throw it deep?
Well, he said the problem is that I watched his press conference. He said there's a lot of loose coverage.
Well, you called him. You didn't watch it.
Of course,
don't tell anybody.
Yeah,
we see that picture every week.
Yeah.
It was me and him. But he said that these teams give him a lot of comfort, give them a lot of spread out, a lot of room to throw. But when you get in the SEC games, it's going to be tight coverage, it's going to be tighter windows, and it's going to be easier for us to run our offense correctly. Didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That's that Bainbridge mentality.
It's just
We'll be
whatever.
more successful offensively against Tennessee than we were Austin Peay. Okay.
I
If you say so, Coach.
Is this a day or a night game?
Day.
Day,
Yeah,
3:30,
3:30.
ABC.
All right, gonna be fun though.
It will.
Always a fun game. Like again, expect the
In
unexpected.
Tennessee.
And Kirby has had a really good track record against Josh Heupel's offenses to this point. Georgia's the only SEC team that Tennessee has not scored more than 17 against.
And Heupel has changed his offense up a little bit, so that'll be probably for that reason. So it's going to be a fun matchup. Florida State plays open this week, but they took care of business against East Texas A&M.
Well, that's what they get for taking Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah.
Somebody put that online.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, somebody said,
well,
they deserve it for taking Jimbo Fisher. Man, that was Texas A&M.
So that was Texas A&M. But taking care of business there.
That come out of Sop Chop.
Sop Chop.
Yeah.
It was Sop Chop. They're grunting worms, and you guys said, you know what? No, they deserve that.
That's right. Good old Sop Chopping.
But
anyway,
FSU looked good. They took care of their
Knowles
business.
are back,
They
baby.
played.
Chop them, Michael. Doggone it. They
played hard.
Knowles are back.
right there.
And we'll kind of see. So we've got Kent State and then Virginia and then Miami. So to me is, are you going to play at this high level against a Kent State that you should beat, and then against a Virginia team that you should beat, but we historically have not really played well against ACC teams on the road.
It's kind of like North Carolina State. I don't know what it is, but always a problem.
It's hard to beat North Carolina State at home.
Yeah,
no
that's
matter.
true. That's
Georgia
true.
Tech, all of them have trouble over there.
That's true.
And I think we do play North Carolina State later on in the year. So anyway, that's going to be fun.
Good
But,
ledger of games this weekend. There's a bunch
a lot
of
of good games. A lot of last week maybe not as many, but you're going to have a lot to.
Unless
lot
you're a
to
Florida
pick from.
fan.
We may get into that a little bit, but whoever, and let's just say this, whoever's scheduled Florida, their out of conference games were South Florida, Miami, Florida State, and then probably somebody, like an East Texas A&M.
And then they get Texas.
And then I have Texas. So
The
whoever's
schedule's
scheduled for them, and again, whoever they made mad in the SEC to get on that
I
schedule.
mean, they go to LSU this weekend after
Yeah.
the South Florida game. But
You can schedule yourself right out of a job.
you ain't kidding. You may have already done that.
And I like, that. I think Florida's going to play really well against LSU. You guys watch that. But
Okay.
let's do yes, no.
All right.
Everybody loves it. Yes, no. So again, producer Riley isn't here.
We got producer Casey today.
Yeah, so we got Casey Massey with us, but producer Riley, if we mess up the show, he'll make us run gassers like the Syracuse coach, like after the show, after the game. You think producer Riley would make us do that?
Not this bunch of old guys. No. Now maybe you, but not the rest of us. No. He's
That
not
was
that
interesting to see Syracuse do that. But do you think our
think he
producer
would?
would make us do that? What do you say, Michael Best?
I don't know if we could survive it. He may try, but
Jim's
might be
with
good
us.
for a part of one. But
It ain't
I
happening.
used to could run gassers, but
No, not no more.
I can't run across the street right now.
Run to go get some gas.
Floral,
from the
I can
gas
run my
station.
mouth. That's about it. I can do that pretty doggone good.
Yeah, I can run to the refrigerator. That's about it.
Yeah.
I ran a lot of gassers back in the day. Maybe I can run a just singular. I can run a gas.
Just run a gas, not a gas.
yeah,
server,
not,
just
not a
gas,
bunch
yeah.
of them. But
Or
all
a
right, Jim. The early narratives in college football don't always hold up. Early narratives in college football don't always hold up. People kind of seize onto these first 2 weeks, and maybe do they hold up or not? So Florida struggling, Florida State doing good. I remember last year we had Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois. What are your thoughts on these kind of early narratives?
It's early,
Yeah.
and so you don't really like Ohio State and Texas playing. Ohio State only scored 14 points. Texas only 7. They play later in the year.
Yeah, it's
It'll be
gonna be-
better. Offenses will be more mature. The team they're trying to. All new teams they're trying to gel together. And if you got somebody like Ohio that Ohio State has today, you can score some points like they scored 73 last week. So.
Yeah. So you say no. The early narratives, do they hold up?
It always changes. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Speaking of gassers and sprints, but
Yeah.
yeah, the early season. I'm a proponent of saying we don't have polls until the first week of October.
Yeah.
Personally,
yeah,
but that's just me.
I'm always like that. Michael Best?
Way too early to know anything for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia comes out, maybe loses to Tennessee. They're still in the thick of things.
Yep.
Right? I mean,
Yep.
a lot can happen. So,
Yep.
all
And
right.
Tennessee's still in the thick of things if they lose.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
just saying.
a lot of these teams that is the advantage of being in the SEC. You've got a chance to get up there and
What's your thing?
play
Lose
your-
early, don't lose late. Or
That's
better
right.
lose early.
yeah,
Better lose early than late.
Yep.
SEC bias doesn't matter if you lose late.
yeah.
Well,
Uh,
well said.
I promise it don't mean anything.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that our win over Alabama will be taken away.
Yep.
Just from,
It will. They'll forget all about that, and Alabama will be number one.
I tell you what, though, the college football world is thankful, though, because there have been so many memes and things done because of that game. They're thankful that they've got to pick on Alabama here a little bit.
Yeah.
While they got the chance.
All right, speaking of picking on UNC, they beat the Charlotte 49ers. Again, 49ers named after the Gold Rush, right?
Yeah.
Which is weird that it would be Charlotte being in the 49ers. But anyway.
Well, no, they had a Gold Rush up in North Georgia and North Carolina.
Okay,
remember Dahlonega and all that stuff?
That was part of that.
Yeah,
Okay, a little history for you.
Yeah.
See, we give you all the facts right here on the press box. This will be the sole victory for Belichick over Gold Diggers.
Yeah,
he thought about that.
He's losing to one now.
He thought about that one for a while.
Oh, that's so wrong. But I did like his girlfriend did have something about had a shirt on.
She started something that's
It was
called the
funny.
Gold
It
Diggers.
was something Gold Diggers. It was kind of fun. It all in good fun. So, all right, I'll leave that one alone there.
we wouldn't know.
We're not
No
going to that
comment.
one. Okay.
You need to be supervised.
You want me to run these by you guys?
Yeah.
You got too much time on your hands.
Yeah,
That's true.
we have
But that was funny, though.
producer Riley and producer Casey probably needs to see these first. All right, this UF team, Florida's had some good coaches and some bad coaches. This Florida team reminds you of how they look in the bad coaches, kind of a spitting image of that, how they remind you of the bad coaches. Jim McElwain, Will Muschamp, they kind of remind you of that.
Kind of, but I don't think Napier's that bad of a coach. I just don't know what the problem is in the Florida.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
There's something going on, something in the atmosphere.
Now, tough schedule doesn't help them as well, but this remind you of some of the bad coaches eras for Florida. What do you say?
I don't really understand because last year I think we both would agree if Florida's quarterback doesn't go down, they beat Georgia. I think.
Yeah.
Or it's a barn burner game. Yeah.
But it just didn't seem like the same team yesterday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday.
Well, now, that kid has not practiced much. Lagway has been hurt.
He's been in a boot.
Yeah, and he looked like a guy that had not practiced much the other night in that game. I think as the season rolls along, if they can keep everybody from jumping off the ship, I think they'll be okay. But yeah, I'm with Jim.
Yeah.
Something's just not right there. There's something out of whack.
And it's weird to see. Again, I as a FSU guy, I hate to admit I like Napier.
It's really
Yeah.
hard.
But I do think Napier's a good coach. But something's not showing up.
His dad was a great
high school coach around.
And Napier seems like a good guy overall. But I mean, again, there's just something somewhere. There's a disconnect that doesn't add up.
But I do think, and this is something all Florida schools have to watch. When we got a lot of Florida players, when they're locked in. Miami was kind of notorious for this, where if they were locked in on a game, they could beat anybody. But if they weren't, they would struggle. And you've kind of seen Florida State and Florida do that, where they may have been thinking about LSU or something like that. But South Florida's good, by the way, and that's another thing. Early season narrative.
Yeah.
It may be that South Florida's a playoff team, y'all.
I love the fact that the Miami, Florida State, and Florida are all part of the conversation now.
Yeah.
That feels right. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's right. So again, it could be an epic game coming up, but I don't know how much Miami's favored over South Florida, but could be two undefeated teams in early October.
That's this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, they play this weekend.
South Florida, Miami. Okay.
Yep. On the CW, as a matter of fact. So
Yeah,
there
we
you go.
write that
So
one down.
you
There
can
you go.
find that one. You can find that one if you want to.
The CW.
All right, last one. Jalen Carter for the Eagles. He's going to be the new Florida defensive line coach. Michael Best, is he going to do that?
For the record, Dak spit first. Just throwing that out there.
Dak said he spits when he speaks.
It doesn't matter. You spit.
So you're
That's all
defending
Jalen was doing.
Jalen Carter.
Jalen was speaking and he spit.
Yeah, that was a lot of
That
talking going
was a
on.
lot
He
of
spat before he talked.
That was a
He
loogie.
cleared out
That was a
part of his
loogie that was
spleen
coming
or
over.
something. I'm not
He
sure.
has gotten up there and got, the Philadelphia Eagle people have rubbed off on that sweet boy. I'm sorry. Sorry, little boy from Georgia had that happen to him.
Yeah. Man.
He could be, though. Yeah,
He
I
could
mean,
be.
he could be the defensive line coach based on what you saw the other
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, that's got to be a heck of a way
Spit
to.
an image of him.
Yeah, it's got to be a heck of a way to lose the game.
Nicely
do that
played.
on
Nicely
that. So.
played.
They didn't lose the game. They beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He lost the game.
But
late.
the Florida lost the game because of their defensive linemen spelling somebody.
I didn't know
in the end of that drive.
I don't keep up with Florida.
Yeah, that was a key point. He spilled on the guy, and that gave him a first down, and they were able to go and score after that.
So that was kind of one of the.
If it's not Texas and Ohio State on Saturday, I don't care.
All right, there we go.
Fair
all
enough,
right, so
fair
all
enough.
all Texas and Ohio State questions.
FSU
and that way.
FSU.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, well, that's it, and we will see you next time on the Press Box.